What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday evening to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well and having a great day so far. It's time now for the Friday evening weather update for Friday, June 28th, 2024. That's right, we're coming back to you again in the evening because there are a couple weather stories that you need to know about, including Tropical Depression number 2 and the severe weather. So, if you're new to my channel, subscribe down below. I promise to keep you updated and informed with what's going on with all the weather issues around the United States and of course the tropical weather as well. Give this a thumbs up. The more people that hit that thumbs up button, the more YouTube pushes this out throughout the algorithm. Let's try for 25 like button hits on this video, and of course share this with anyone you know. We need to keep people informed because we're talking about a tropical system that could become a hurricane. You're seeing H's on this map now. Those are hurricane symbols, and of course leave a comment down below. Alrighty, taking a look here, the National Hurricane Center now says, as of 5 p.m., Atlantic Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time as well, there is now Tropical Depression 2. And this storm is expected to continue to intensify into a tropical storm as early as overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and it will gain the name Beryl. That is going to be the name of the storm. It's going to be a tropical storm through much of the day tomorrow, and expected by 2 p.m. Sunday. Already it will be up to a hurricane. It could pass near the Leeward Islands and the Windward Islands, so pay close attention to that. And then take a look at this. Yes, the Hurricane Center by Wednesday of next week is expecting possibly Hurricane Beryl will be hitting Jamaica on the most recent forecast here in the cone of uncertainty. There's a lot of time. That could change. That's 2 p.m. Wednesday of next week, where Friday night it just became a depression. Let's take a look at how Beryl is doing right now. And take a look at this. It's much more impressive than when we did an update this morning. You can see there is some convection going here. It's starting to develop a nice outflow structure. It's starting to be a nice spin with this. Beryl, it's a depression, but safe to say, it's going to be Beryl relatively soon. Beryl is looking relatively impressive right now. Let's take a look at what some of the tropical models are saying for this, and we can see here, let's start off with the intensity first. Check this out, the 18Z intensity guidance. They're really ramping this up. The majority of the tropical models now say, oh no, this will become a hurricane, and several of them now take it up to a category 2, and even a few that go higher than that. So this is a quickly evolving situation. That's why you need to subscribe down below, because I keep you updated on these things. Take a look at this. You can see here, as we head into hour 96, which at that point we are into next week, we're talking about a decent hurricane, a moderate-sized hurricane, Category 1, strong Category 1, and likely at this point, I mean, the trends continue to be higher with the guidance. Category 2 would not surprise me at all. Let's also take a look at the latest tracks from the hurricane models. You can see all of them continue this general westward progression, ever so slight northwest at times. You can see here it will go over the Leeward Islands, and then it will potentially come near Jamaica. The question at that point is, will it be a little bit more north, or will it be a little bit more south? Let's take a look at what goes on with the latest computer models. Here's the 18Z GFS, and I want to show this to you. You can see on the GFS, there it is, right there. It goes over the islands, then it continues westward, and at that point, it's a strong Category 2, maybe a Category 3 on the GFS, and it does try to head near Jamaica, but ends up going a little bit more to the north. Then it gets hung up in or near Cuba before eventually going into the Gulf of Mexico, and it doesn't do all that much in the Gulf of Mexico. It really starts to fizzle. But I want to show you something else. Look behind us. We do have another system that gets going. That system, if it should develop, it's going to become an invest relatively soon, if not already, would be named Chris. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. So things are getting interesting, and you can see with Chris, that does pass just south of Puerto Rico. So something to keep an eye on. Now let's go over to what the 12Z European model had, and you can see the European does also develop Beryl, and it gets relatively impressive. I will show you here. Here it is over the islands. This would be at about Monday afternoon, so you still have time to prepare, but at the rate with what's going on with satellite presentation, be prepared. It could already be a hurricane at that point. You can see here the European, it generally takes it to about a Category 1 hurricane, and then as it gets closer to the Gulf, unlike as it gets further west, I should say, unlike the GFS, this actually gets a little bit stronger and moves more to the southwest, and it does go over parts of the Yucatan Peninsula. And then look at this. It does go right into the Gulf of Mexico, and it makes landfall just south of the Texas-Mexico border, or right on the border. And at this point, it does do so as a hurricane, probably a Category 1. So again, a lot of time to watch this. Will it make it into the Gulf, or will it end up a little bit further to the north? That remains to be seen. And you can see here on the European, take a look at that. Chris also develops as well. All right, let's take a look at something else. There's a lot of other things going on in the United States right now. The heat continues to go on in the south. It was a very hot day down here. But you do see this, a yellow box. What's that yellow box, you might ask? That is a tornado watch that is up for portions of Kansas and portions of Missouri. Then you see in western Pennsylvania, there is now a flood watch that is up because there is going to be potentially some flash flooding concerns in western Pennsylvania. And you can see heat advisory is now up for southeast Pennsylvania and portions of New Jersey, like I suspected would happen. Let's take a look now at radar, and you can see here in Kansas, there is at this time, wow, this is a very impressive supercell going right over I-70 just south of Fort Riley and Manhattan. And yeah, take a look at that. That is a really impressive supercell. It is likely producing hail. You can see the hail core on this. This white, this pinkish color, that, my friends, is large hail. You do not want to be near Junction City right now. That is a really dangerous storm. Hail is likely doing some damage at that spot right now. Let's take a look at what's going on with the severe storm reports so far today. I'm going to refresh. As you can see, so far there's just been 8 storm reports, 5 wind reports, 2 of them being hail. And it does say here that there is 1 tornado that was reported yet again in Florida. Sometimes with some of the daytime activity in Florida, you do get a water spout or a random spin up. And I suspect this map is going to fill in more overnight because the severe weather threats are going to continue into the night. And let's take a look at that. You can see here, slight risk does continue in the central plains. You can see there is a 5% tornado area within that. Wind and hail does continue. And now the new update on the day 2 outlook. Take a look at this. 5% tornado area across Pennsylvania and Ohio. I suspect there could be a few isolated tornadoes tomorrow. Wind and hail are also in the playing cards, but hail threat is mainly into the central plains. No hail threat at this time in Pennsylvania. That could change. We'll have to keep an eye on that to see if they upgrade to a enhanced risk for tomorrow. Taking a look now at what's going on with the modeling. Here's the HER model, 18Z. And you can see the 18Z HER model did not do a very good job. Why? Do you see that supercell in Kansas? No, it's not showing up on the HER model. So what we're going to do in return is we're actually going to switch models here. And I want to show you the RGEM model because this is really starting to get interesting to me. Take a look what's happening here in northeast Ohio and northwest Pennsylvania early tomorrow morning. First thing tomorrow morning. That is very impressive rainfall and thunderstorms, which is why I do think there is definitely a flash flood threat there. And take a look what happens across Pennsylvania. You can see some strong to severe storms get going, maybe even a few isolated supercells, and not just one round, but you can see multiple rounds do develop. And as we head into Sunday, take a look at this. There is another round of thunderstorms. You can see thunderstorms will be numerous tomorrow and Sunday down in the south. Look at Florida there. Some isolated, really heavy pockets, numerous showers and thunderstorms across Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and then straight up the I-95 corridor. You can see here a squall line does try to get going on Sunday in the mid-Atlantic, and eventually that front will push south, and there'll probably be some more showers and thunderstorms on Monday down south. Then, after that, we do have to watch what happens up in the northern plains. Alrighty, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update. Again, we do have Tropical Depression number 2 that is likely to become Beryl tonight. You have to keep a close eye on it if you are in the Leeward and Windward Islands. And, of course, Jamaica, we're going to be keeping an eye on you because right now the Hurricane Center does, for 2 p.m. Wednesday, have a hurricane coming right over you. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Again, let's take one more look at the satellite picture, and you can see here what is about to become Beryl is getting relatively impressive, and I think it's safe to say this probably already is Beryl, and we may see by 11 o'clock tonight that they say, oh no, this is a tropical storm. Let's look at this. The outflow structure continues to grow. The circulation is getting more impressive. It's it's becoming an impressive storm in a period when people did not expect there to be much activity because of the dry dust. But that doesn't seem to be a factor, and here we are only in June. Wow. Yep, this could be in for a long season. Alrighty, folks, that does it for this evening edition of the Weather Update. We'll have another one again tomorrow in the morning. If need be, we'll have a second one again tomorrow as well because, things continue to evolve. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this because you felt like you just got informed with what's going on, subscribe down below. Share this with anyone you know, especially people who could be in the path of this tropical system and people who are in the path of tomorrow's severe weather. Again, tomorrow there could be hail, wind, maybe even a few tornadoes across portions of the Mid-Atlantic, especially in Pennsylvania. I'm getting a little more increasingly concerned with that setup and the flash flood setup in western Pennsylvania. Remember, they've already had a few flash flood events this year. They don't need another one. Alrighty, folks, I'll see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, have a fantastic Friday evening, and thanks for watching.